Rev up your engine. Today I'm going to tell you everything you want to know about a Lexus IS 250, including should you buy a 250 or a 350, should you buy new or used? Stay tuned because I'm going to tell you the truth. It's 2008, the customer just bought 3 weeks ago for $6,000 on Facebook Marketplace. What a deal. Now these are basically compact luxury sports cars. And this is a fancy one. It's all-wheel drive. So it even handles better than that. You can get them rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Now you can only get an IS 250 used because they don't make it more. The big difference, of course, is the size of the engine. One's 2,500 cc's, one's 3,500 cc's. You open the hood, both the 350 and the 250 have Toyota's legendary V6 engine. We'll take the top off so you can actually see it. Only you're pushing 100 more horsepower with the 350. Let me tell you, this thing is fast enough. They're small cars with the 2,500 cc engine. Plus, it gets better gas mileage. Now, granted, the 350 is a little bit quicker. You're not going to be able to get a used one for $6,000, let me tell you. 12, 13, 14, 20, whatever, they're much more expensive. Now they're both luxurious cars inside. The only real difference with the 350 is it does ride a little bit smoother. It's a more expensively made car, but the IS series are all, as you can see here, made in Japan. They hold up, and when they do make a rare mistake, as in the case of this one, that is the problems with the sticky dash and interiors, you're not going to believe this. Oh, this is a 2008. The Lexus dealer, because they have problems with the cars getting sticky and the dash getting sticky. I can feel the stickiness here. They're going to replace the dash in all 4-door cars. All 4 of them. Absolutely free. He just bought it used. He didn't buy it new. That is how much Lexus cares about their customers. Compare this to, say, Fiat Chrysler. If you saw my video a few days ago, we had one here. It was 3 years old, and the head was breaking on the Pentastar V6 engine. Chrysler refused to fix any of it free, and they said, well, we could put a new head in for thousands, but we really advise you replace the entire engine. That was the 3-year-old one. This thing is 13 years old, and they're going to replace all that stuff free at Lexus. We've got a completely different universe going on here. Look under the hood here. I took the beauty cover off, and you see, oh no, look at all this corrosion. Well, it is corroded because that's aluminum. If I would take the valve covers off, the insides would be perfectly fine because they're coated with oil. That's just the outside, and aluminum does pip. So that tells me the previous owner of this car was either up north in Chicago or something where they put salt on the road, or they lived in Florida on the coast somewhere where the salt gets on it. It's superficial rust. Now you want to make sure they don't have any rust at the bottom, so let's look underneath. So we'll go underneath and take a look. Frame solid as a rock. Now, yeah, you can see the exhaust system here. It's got some rust to it, and you can see there's leaks on it where they put fiberglass stuff on it. You can see there, probably the rust belt. You expect to change exhaust parts. A real pro would just weld new pipes on it. You can see those pipes have got corrosion on it, but this part here is still solid. You just want to weld some new pipes on it. That's peanut money. You don't have to go to Lexus to buy pipes. Pipes are made out of rolled steel. The good muffler shops, they got machines and they got raw pipes. They put it on a machine, and the machine goes through its computer, and it bends it exactly the shape to your part. Guys don't even stock that stuff anymore, the pipes. They have the raw pipe, and they bend it to fit, and then they weld it on. It's no big deal. You don't have to go to the Lexus dealer to buy super expensive exhaust. Now, this comes with aftermarket wheels. I gotta say, I like them better than the stock. They're really sharp. He still has the original ones, but unfortunately, they're all pitted from people hitting curbs, so. And this being the all-wheel drive version, it handles like a dream in all weather. It's his first car. He's only 17, but here's the advantage: the IS 250, less horsepower. The insurance rate is much better than in one like a 350 that has another 100 horsepower. And after all, it is his first car. We're gonna take it for a ride, and you'll see it's plenty fast enough. Let's see if it starts. Now you will hear a little noise. That's the poorly patched exhaust. Normally they don't make any noise at all, but you can modify them any way you want. Same with the engine. If you want more horsepower, you can start modifying this engine, but as I said, let's take it for a ride first. So we're sitting there waiting for a car to go, and what do you notice? Nothing. It doesn't check. The only thing you hear is the leak on the exhaust pipe. I mean, what the heck? It's no big deal. But these things are so smooth, it's unbelievable. And we'll wait till this car gets out of the way, and we'll see how fast it really is. Not exactly a slouch. Smooth shifts. Handles like a dream. That's what these things are for. You can corner on these things, but at the same time, they have a very smooth ride. Granted, if you bought a 350, it's quite a bit smoother. It's got upgraded suspension and stuff, but hey, this is a fun sports car to drive around in. It really is. When there's no one around, you want to mess around. These things really, they don't oversteer, they don't understeer. And of course, in this case, it's rear-wheel drive and front-wheel drive with a very complex Lexus all-wheel drive system that sets the drive proportionally depending on road conditions. They know what they're doing in Japan when they build these things. And of course, being a sporty car, you can put it into sport mode. We'll start out in 1, then you can really drive more zippy if you want, and then shift it manually, pulling on them. There's all kinds of things you can do. You can have a lot of fun with one of these. And look what you can play around with. You got 6 gears to fool around with, up and down. Just paddle. If you like paddle shifting, you get used to it. That's kind of fun. You just want a lazy cruiser, put it in drive, it'll do the shifting for you. And of course, it's typical Lexus quality. Maybe a 2008. Look at that paint. The original paint still shines like mad. And how much life does this baby have? Well, let's see what the mileage is on it. It's only got 143,000 miles. I don't know, some people are gonna say, oh, who would buy a car with that kind of mileage? Well, this is a Lexus made in Japan. I got customs these things, 350, original engine, transmission, they don't burn oil, and yeah, especially around Houston, if they live near the coast, they're gonna have that white corrosion, but it doesn't mean anything. Now, the majority of these are just simple rear-wheel drive, which people like in a sports car. Nice rear-wheel drive sports car. This is an all-wheel drive. The rear-wheel drives don't have any problems. Well, the all-wheel drive ones don't on these Lexuses either. They're really well designed. A luxury sports car experience. Now, of course, a purist won't like the all-wheel drive because they can't do burnouts in it. You can, but you'll ruin the transmission. Now, as usual on Toyota Lexus quality, the AC still works, all the windows and all that. And as a bonus, people complained about the sticky dashes and the doors. He's getting them fixed free. I still can't believe it. Now, it only goes for another month, and then the time limit is up. But he bought this thing used, and he's getting all that done free. So it will really look like a new car, and it isn't going to cost him anything. But you know what I like best about this car? This, the beautiful Lexus front. You know how I hate those new scowling ones. They look like something from Home Alone or The Scream. Ah! It's a look I like. Nice, conservative, beautiful looking car. Not those horrible plastic fronts with the giant mouths. I still, for the life of me, can't understand why they make them that way. I think it's the ugliest thing that anyone ever designed on such beautiful cars. Now, if you want an IS250, you gotta buy a used one because they don't make them anymore. When they were new, hey, they were 10 grand cheaper than the 350s, and like I said, the 350s were faster. They got a little bit smoother ride and all that. They're still sports sedans. They don't ride like a regular sedan. Wheelbase is different. They're made for better cornering. Of course, they're not going to ride as smooth. That's just the way that it goes. Now, if you do buy a brand new IS350 2021, they start, and I mean start, at $39,000. He paid $6,000 for this. Not just the car and the way it looks, but my wallet is much happier with $6,000 for a car that still might last another 10 or 15 years versus $39,000. And of course, that's only the beginning. Check out what your insurance is going to cost you on a brand new one. It isn't going to be cheap like it is on this one. The insurance is going to be wazoo. The car gets stolen, something happens, they got to pay the car note off. It's $39,000, so you're paying for all that too. Now, this may be a 13-year-old car, but the paint's still immaculate. Other than the bumper that has been retouched, they didn't do such a good job. That's peeling up, but look at the rest of the car. Really? No dings? The wheels have been replaced, so they're not pitted. The original ones are pitted, but that's the driver's fault for running into stuff. Now, I know a lot of people say, never buy a used luxury car, and never, ever, ever buy a used luxury sports car. Now, in many cases, that's true. But in the case of this Lexus IS250, it's not true at all. They're so well made. Where else are you going to find a company that on a 13-year-old car is going to give you all new interiors absolutely free? Nobody else does anything like that because they care about their customers. Now, if you're like me, you take advantage of other people. You let someone else spend the 40 grand on a new Lexus, then wait till it's older and get a deal, because that is the best deal. You get a car like this, $6,000. You can't beat a deal like that if it's a good car and it was taken care of, and this one was taken care of. Sure, that probably came from up north. But even back in 2008, Lexus was putting anti-rust stuff on their cars so that you don't see the fenders rusting out like you would on a Ford or on a Chrysler or on a GM. No, because they built them right in the first place. So if you're looking for a fun, and in this case, very inexpensive, you can find one like this for $6 grand. Hurry up and buy it before I find it and snatch it up. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.